Hello, everyone. I am Derek Jameson. I am a QHHT past life regression practitioner, a spiritual life coach, and intuitive channel. And this is just a little interview series that I do to feature some really inspiring human beings who are doing magic in the world. And today I have Esemae, who will be discussing awakening, illness, and creativity. And she's even going to do a live performance for us. So that is an amazing treat. It's actually how we met was through music many years ago. And, the universe and all of its magical energies brought us back together at this point. And I want to share her amazing talent and her story with you all. So welcome, Esemae.
Thank you. Thanks, Derek. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited. Tell people that are watching and listening the different things that you do.
I do several things. I am an artist. I'm a painter. I'm a professional makeup artist and eyebrow expert. That's how I like solidified myself in this town in Los Angeles. And then I'm also a singer-songwriter too. So I'm just creative in general, like
You,
all the time.
Using your art in like all the ways to help people feel more beautiful and to create beauty through. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, beauty is like, and we might have talked about this. We connected again, but beauty is kind of beauty. If it comes visually within or sonically, is kind of my expression. It's
Yeah. Now, you had an extreme illness. I'm going to jump right into
yeah.
it. You had an extreme illness which like almost took your life, and that's how, you reached back out to me with the things I've been posting and sharing, looking for some guidance or some direction. And tell us about this illness that took place and what took place. What happened.
Yeah. So long story short, about a year and a half ago, I got sick in Costa Rica. Came back, typical, drank the water like a bad tourist, and whoops. And came back and was treated with an antibiotic called Levaquin, which is in the fluoroquinolone family. It's related to Cipro, and proceeded to get super sick after that. I had every flu, every sinus infection. They gave it to me again a couple months later. It destroyed my microbiome and my ability to absorb minerals and vitamins, and it created a systemic wide collapse within my body. So it's a neurotoxin, so it attacked my nervous system. I couldn't eat. It attacked my brain. It attacked my tissues. And I couldn't get it out of my body. So it was like this year-long process of just this spiraling down, getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and I didn't have much help. People didn't believe me, or I did have some help. There were people out there that did believe me, and they're on here watching right now. And I found through my illness, which was, and I'm a tough broad. Okay, so like if you gave me, I would look at that disease and go, okay, I got this. This was so extreme and unbelievable, and the amount of fear that was online with the information of what happens to people who take this drug was so powerful that it didn't help. And so I went through the process in my illness that I literally broke down my ego, my identity, any attachments I had, any kind of dreams that I had, any kind of um, attachments that I had to what I thought life was. Everything left me, and my income, my own perception of who I was, who my relationships were with other people, how they started to view me. People started kind of attacking me when I was sick. It was really interesting to learn what it was like to be sick with a mystery illness. And I think with any illness in general. And I learned a lot in that breakdown, and it was very painful and it was very scary. It's probably the scariest thing I will ever experience in my entire life. Maybe entire lifetimes, might be a couple lifetimes. And I think I took the cake for a while. And in that, I learned on so many levels about not just on the physical plane here, diet, nutrition, supplements. I also learned just about our emotions and how we store trauma, my spiritual wounds, my emotional, my mental wounds, my habits, my projected, like what I thought was my pain wasn't actually my pain. It was generational pain.
Mm.
So it triggered a spiritual awakening. I just got hit because I literally was floating in this space of extreme pain, but my body couldn't function. I couldn't stand barely. I couldn't eat. I had no enjoyment. There was no joy. There was only pain. And when everything beautiful leaves you, you're just left, they call it the dark night of the soul. And I was aware that this was happening while my brain lost me too. And I was like, oh shit, excuse my language. Well, not excuse my, well, a little bit excuse my language. I don't know if it matters. But I was like, wow, this is what they talk about. This is dark night of the soul. I'm literally removed from anything beautiful. And in that, a light went bing, and it was me. And then I saw myself, and it was really beautiful to, and then it was myself and my guides and my angels and God, or whatever you call, I mean, everybody has a different perception of what that is, just kept telling me to go this direction, go right, go left, call this person, talk to this person, you'll find, work with this doctor. I had like 15 doctors, practitioners. I'm still healing. I found magical people out there who helped heal my body. I work with a medical medium. I work with a kinesiologist. I worked with Western and Eastern medicine. Now I'm a case study. But the body's a miracle. It heals. I can't believe, and there was part of me that doubted it. And I had some wonderful people who came into my life at that time that reminded me that I could heal. And because they had been through similar things. And I'm like, no, the pain won't last forever. And I think that that was the biggest fear was, is this never going to go away because I'm in it for so long, you know?
Yeah.
And the trauma in it and healing the trauma through it and the brain. I mean, we store all of our emotions, all of our trauma in our cells down to a cellular level, in our tissues, myofascial release. I mean, the amount of pain and emotion that has come through my body, like I've broken down, break through, I don't know, 200 times. And now in a pandemic, that's happened a couple more. It's just, I've learned so much. So that's what happened to me in 2019.
And that was just 2019.
And now here we are in a pandemic.
So, you did mention, and I kind of want you to explain this a little bit more. You were talking about generational trauma and storing and having generational trauma. Now, that is a new concept to a lot of people. They don't fully understand how we do that, but we do store trauma from this particular life that we're experiencing in our body. And then we're also carrying on energy from our past lineages, and we're here to transmute that. But give a little bit more explanation about your take on it.
So it took this awakening and illness to pinpoint what was mine and what was current trauma and what was generational trauma. And it happened in a sequence of events with every symptom of my body. And as I went through my healing and my breakdown, I had current trauma from my childhood, just emotional needs that were not met. Doesn't make anybody bad. It's just I'm an empath, and so I was absorbing a lot of pain there. And there's some relationships in my family that I was absorbing that pain to that. I also had my own trauma with relationships, friendships, being made fun of, bullying, not having my emotional needs met, and also not being heard. I didn't sing till I was later. So that was a lot of my current trauma. And then my generational trauma, I'm half Armenian, and I had this big break from that side of the family where the fear literally took, I thought I was going to be, it was like, felt like I was going to die because the amount of fear that was stored within me. And it was like, I thought it was the end. And I think part of that was the generational trauma of the genocide, of the Armenian genocide. And I remember I had that flashes of like my people not making it. And I was like, oh my God, this fear, this isn't my fear. This is genocide fear. And I broke through it, and I made a pact with my angels and God that this is done. And then I also realized that there was trauma on my mother's side too that was passed down. We had a great grandmother who was very narcissistic. So I think that had gotten passed down, people absorbing that kind of intensity, and it actually came down to me. It ended up coming into me, and I couldn't walk for days and days and days. And at another point, and my doctor, my kinesiologist, was like, yeah, you're absorbing your great grandmother. And then I found out later through my mother that she was a narcissist. So I had all these truths and flashes of childhood of I needed something and I couldn't, and nobody understood me. And it was just, I was grieving my 6-year-old self or 7-year-old self on the playground, or, it was my relationship with my twin. He had a lot of illness growing up, and challenges. He's an amazing being. And watching him suffer as a child, I carried that through my whole life too. And in that, I realized we're all just walking around with these generational wounds and current wounds and their pain bodies. And we're all beautiful beings. We're just carrying these situations and these energies that impact us.
Yeah, people don't realize, because like I said, it is a new concept for some people to think that they are carrying around, what is under the umbrella of epigenetics into this current lifetime that we're living now. And what was a very clear indicator for me with you when talking to you about this is that you were the healer. And I told you that. I said, you're here because you're the one that was strong enough, that had the energy level enough to be able to transmute all of that, because it wasn't done with anybody else within your family and for generations. So you're the one that has come in here as the hero, which is why you have the connection more to the divine and the angels and the guidance. You came in with that high ability to go, okay, almost like volunteering to come in and do the dirty work before the big shift that we're actually experiencing right now. Which is why you were so strong to like move through that experience and still sit here talking about it now.
Oh, I looked in the mirror and I said, this is your purpose. If you heal from this, when you heal from this shows you that anything is possible. There's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing, if you can get through this, I can get through anything. And it's a testament to our will. It's that deep will to live, and to heal, not to stay in suffering. And we don't have to. There's a lot of, oh, this is just old age, or my body does this. And it's like, sometimes those become stories. It doesn't mean they're not real, but our brain logs that in the brain, and then we stay in that pain state.
Yes.
I'm rewiring my brain right now because it just experienced so much pain. It just wanted to stay there. And
Yes.
it's like, oh, dude, we're not staying there. Like, I
Right.
refuse. You know. So I've learned so much. It was very difficult, very painful, but I feel like I just don't identify with pain anymore. I don't identify with hurt.
That right there was a powerful statement. Everybody watching should take that away from this particular interview today. I don't identify with pain. Ooh, I felt that. I was like,
Not
I
even
don't identify.
not even darkness. And I dove into my shadows for a very long time. And I'll still face them. But I was very attached to my shadows, and very, like it was my identity. My emotional pain was my identity, and it's not anymore.
And that's what it is for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Their emotional pain or their physical pain becomes their identity.
right.
And then they play that story.
That role over and over and over again. We're conditioned. We're so conditioned, and we don't have to be. You
So that said, that leads right into my next thing, the awakening. What is it that you were awakened to? You kind of alluded to a lot of that, but like really, where are you at now with this beautiful cracking open?
Oh, it's very overwhelming. Now that I'm experiencing and seeing so much joy. And I remember when there was one time when in my process of healing where I worked with my kinesiologist, and she released a lot of pain from my body, and just the bees on the dipping into the water, the fountain at church across the street from my doctor's, just watching them, just the simplest, like the way that nature behaves. And I've always been connected to nature. I've never had a natural presence of mind. Maybe when I was very young, but as I got connected and I was an empath and absorbed so much pain or just experience, I lost presence of mind. I have that now. I have presence of mind. I have times where it takes me away from it and I climb right back into it, but I am so much more present in the world at this moment, in this sequence that we're in, than I've ever been in my entire life of being probably after like 5, 6, 7 years old. And I feel like a child again. Everything is colorful, everything is beautiful. There's possibility in everything. Just because there are things ending does not mean that it's over. We actually vibrate what we vibrate, we attract. So the more I dwell on, oh my gosh, this is happening, the more I get of that, which is only natural because we're living in a pandemic. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot, like, of course, fear is going to come at you and go, but that doesn't mean the world has to go into a dark place. It is a perception and it becomes reality. And I just feel present. I feel clear. I am excited. I'm abundant. I feel like this is a time to, it's weird because this happened right when I was starting to feel good again. And my body, I have a couple more months and then I should be completely healed. And I can't believe I've gone from that to this. And it just reminds me that this time I'm very blessed because this time that we're in now, yeah, I'm not making any money. So that's a whole other part. But I'm getting rest and I'm healing more trauma and I'm being very creative and I'm learning more about myself as Sarah or Esemae that is not in pain. So it can be a beautiful time for self-discovery. And I think new parts of ourselves that maybe we weren't able to give attention to because we didn't have time.
Right.
Running around out there with our heads cut off like chicken. Gotta hustle, gotta make money, gotta go, and it's like we get to just be ourselves right now.
And what you like, literally, you're speaking, you're like in here, and it's just coming out of your mouth because if anybody that watches what I say, it's like so spot on to like that's why I'm feeling everything you're saying right now, and it really is truly a preparatory time. And as you might be forced into this preparatory time, it's either, or you get to choose. Do you want to take that opportunity, or do you want to? What do you need to do? What do you want to do with that?
Yeah.
And I see you preparing and I see you going, okay, this is my situation. I'm everything, any issue that is ever brought to us always has a equal and opposite higher outcome to it. Any
Yes.
challenge always has an opportunity, which is what it is. It's not an issue or a problem. It's a challenge that said, okay, here's where we grow. Where are you going? What are you going to do? Let's see what you're made of. Let's see what you're going to choose, because it really is about our soul ascension. It is our soul journey that we choose these challenges. And you're so powerful and your story is so powerful because you were met with an immense challenge that most people would not see themselves coming out of. And here you are talking about it, and it's quite powerful and quite beautiful. And you are preparing yourself even more because you're like a few months, and then I'm coming out the gate, music and like every art and everything.
Yeah. And it's like a nice little reboot. And it and what we're like you had said when this first was going down, the current place of the pandemic, you had said everybody's going to be met with their own individual mountain. And that for me was very important because I'm very empathic. I'm concerned about everybody else and what's going on with them. And I'm like, whoa, 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 this is like, what's my mountain in this? I'm not going through what they're going through. I'm going to be going through what I'm going to be going through. And that's going to be different. And what everybody else is going through needs to be honored. And we need to respect and honor what other people are going through in this time. They might not be as productive. Maybe they're going to be sleeping. Maybe they're going to be breaking down the entire time. And that's okay because an emotional, spiritual breakdown allows breakthrough, right? So, you know,
Yeah.
so it's it's just honoring ourselves. I'm learning how to honor and love myself and take care of myself and put my health first no matter what.
Yeah.
Because if I put my health first, it teaches it's a ripple effect. Well, my friend said she couldn't come to this thing because she's too tired. Well, am I too tired? Was it maybe I should stay home? I need to get some rest. People start to, you know, like feel like, oh, I want a bubble bath and sometimes taking care of yourself isn't even self-care. It's just, if you're not okay, you're not okay. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Care, acceptance.
Now you are channeling a lot of your energy and your time into artwork, and I thought it was so the gold that you were putting in that. I was like, oh, I love everybody. I love gold. And so, like, talk about your art and your music and how you're bringing that energy through your art.
Show you some gold. And I started the gold series in this because we all need light, right? So I've been painting forever, and painting is more meditative, where music is more deep healing. Music is very deep healing for me. Like
Sure.
I'm just ill again after being ill because it's a lot that comes up when I play. Painting is more meditative. So I'm starting the gold series because I think we all need more light. And then musically I'm kind of getting back into my musical skin again. I'm playing on for some friends online. I'm playing classical piano again. I just started writing lyrics again. I wrote some new songs, but you know, after being that ill, it's like you're a new person. You know, you're like who, like everything's kind of changed. So but I don't know, I'm just excited to create. And I usually am, but I'm more present to actually express myself, probably more now. So I'm doing commission artwork. I'm yeah, I'm doing commission artwork at the moment. That's been, and I kind of realized I'm like, I want to do that for a career and then be in the studio and then play shows when we can get out there again. And
Yeah.
when I can start painting people's faces again and doing their eyebrows, I'm on it, you know?
Yeah. And we're gonna do a show together.
Yes, we are.
After
Oh,
all of this, we're doing a show together for sure. As you see, those of you that don't know me, I play the piano and I sing as well, which is how we met,
yeah.
doing
So
all that
when,
wonderful stuff.
I have to put my charger on. Sorry,
That's
my phone
okay.
my phone's not holding charge. Um, when was that? We played. How many years ago was that?
I don't know, many years. And then I asked you to do my charity event. I used to put on charity events to raise money for it was either the hurricanes that happened on the East Coast or it was Saved Our Four. I forget which one. But then I had you perform at 11 in West Hollywood for
With
that event.
so Shiloh Gold was there.
Yeah. Oh
Controversial.
man. That was
It,
lovely. Well,
yeah.
speaking of music, you're gonna
Yeah.
do a song for us. Is this like an older song or a newer song or?
So I'm gonna play you a song that normally is accompanied by my guitarist. He might be on here, Anthony. Oh, Anthony might be here. But I've learned how to. Music does heal. It heals deeply. It's like a full reboot. I feel like a new person after every new song. And this one's called Motivate. I wrote this like 2 years ago, maybe. But it's very. I tend to write and then things become like very in alignment a couple years later. And so now it feels really so. You know, I'm going to try and play it where. Let me see if this will work. Because I'm accompanying myself on this, but normally I play it with guitar. So, can you guys hear me? Is it too loud, or is no? Okay. It has the keys. Can you hear the keys? Okay. This one's called Motivate. So, what makes you feel like you could live forever? Is it in your dreams that pull you inward? Dive into the fear that slams you down now. Rise to the occasion. There's enough strength going round. Greatness is born through the perils of pain. Yeah, I won't give up again and again, 'cause it's in this song where we all will grow, and it's in our hearts where we find our soul. 'cause it's time for the maker. It's time for the maker. All the soul shakers, call the creator. It's time for the maker. Time for the maker. Gotta motivate. We gotta motivate. Wake up, do what you love, even if you gotta let go of all the weight that holds you back. A true maker always follows its path. No more negativity for the people. Humanity, I'll set my demons free and let me be, 'cause it's time for the maker, time for the maker. All the soul shakers, call the creator. It's time for the maker, time for the maker. We gotta motivate, yeah. We gotta motivate, yeah. Don't let it get you down now, down now. Don't let it get you down now, down now. We'll be better somehow, somehow. We'll be better somehow, 'cause it's time for the maker. It's time for the maker. All the soul shakers, call the creator. It's time for the maker. Time for the maker. We gotta motivate, yeah. We gotta motivate. Hands up. We gotta motivate.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I felt like I just got a private concert, although I know other people are watching with me. I was just like,
Thanks.
oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Like shaking. That's good.
We need some soul shakers now for sure.
We do.
And Matt is clapping. Oh, oh.
Yeah, we do. It's time for the maker. It's time to step into who you truly are and be that. And there's no fear in it, because look at everything's unstable, everything's uncertain. We never controlled anything. It was all an illusion. So you might as well be who you truly are.
That is the truth. Look at everybody commenting. There were comments before for things you were saying as well. I was catching them as we were going along, but
Hey.
Thank you. That was so amazing. Oh, Raquel.
I keep falling. I'm terrible at this. Thanks for
that was very lovely. Thank you. And it was definitely, yeah, like a groovy glitterific says thank you. That was very, 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 very nice. And thank you so much for performing and doing that today. I just feel like I feel inspired. You actually made me want to do music, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to do like a show right now.
We should do a stream.
Yeah, like a back and forth, and like, yeah. Oh,
100%.
God.
It's a powerful I mean, I express myself in lots of different mediums, but music changes the world. I mean, so does art. I mean, it all changes the world, but something about frequency, it like changes our cellular makeup. It shifts our perception. It's pretty powerful. That's why sound baths are such a hit. It's why live music is such a hit. I mean, we're very blessed to have music.
Yeah, sound is a sacred language, and sound can come also in different frequencies and vibrations, and it depends on what frequency you want to tune into.
Well, yeah.
You know, and you know what we're bringing through and the energy that it represents, and it's really that's why if you're angry, you want to listen to angry music, or sometimes people are angry and want to be free, and they'll go listen to dance music. or a combination of the two. And it allows
Yeah.
that sonic resonance goes within the head. It works. People don't understand that sound works on the chakra systems and the energy centers. So it's working on our energy centers. It's working on our physical body by going in to the physical body, working on this at the cellular level. By performing, we were receiving, cellular regeneration just because of the words you were speaking, the sound that was coming through, the whole thing. So that's why I was like, oh, this was so lovely, and I really appreciate you
Oh,
sharing that with us today.
you.
How can people find you in all the ways?
There's a lot of ways. Thanks for putting that in there because there's a lot. Follow me on Instagram, which we are here now. I'm at Esemae Music, ESEMAE_music. I also my art page is Esemae Art. And if you just go to Esemae Music, you can see, and then my business, my brow business is up there too. And then I'm on Facebook, but I think like my page, I mean, I don't know if Facebook pages really get out there much. I feel like Instagram's kind of the way to like connect at this point. Yeah. And that's how you find me. And I post on all 3 platforms, especially right now. I mean, it's just me in the house with the cat. So I'm posting.
Perfect.
Fun in here.
Perfect. So everybody go to her pages and follow her. If there was a parting message or something that you want to leave with people that are watching today or listening, what would that be? What do you want? What do you want to tell people?
There's a lot, but I think listening to your inner guidance is the most important compass you'll have in your life. You're always right when you feel it in your gut. It's true. And I wish I would have done that. I wouldn't have been in this situation I experienced. But I learned that. Our intuition is high. It's there for a reason. And also, this is a time, I think that what I'm doing with the time and that I'm downloading a lot of information, it's time for us to tune higher than the density of what is happening on this plane, in this 3-dimensional plane that we're in. It's real. It's happening. Okay. But if we tune up and higher in it, we will shift that reality, and we'll have a pretty amazing environment moving through this on the other side of this kind of the huge breakdown and transition. So tune higher. What you consume, you become. What you're watching, what you're reading, what you're talking about, who you're connected to. Don't absorb too much darkness. There's a lot around. Stick with the light. That's what I gotta say.
I love it. I know. I like, come over to my crystal palace. Like, have obelisks and crystals and music and plants. Like, I feel like I'm literally protected in a beautiful bunker of high vibration and angelic energy.
Right? That's how I felt when I walked in your house. Because when I came over to work with you, I was just coming out of the trauma hole, and I call it the trauma hole of the underworld. And when I walked in your place, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm on the right path. Like, he's got the music going. And I have my candles lit. I create ambiance and sacredness in my place. Frequency music. I'm playing a lot of Chopin. Piano, classical music for me is how I chill out.
Nice.
So, you know what? We can get through this, and we are the makers. So.
We are the makers. Dude, create. Do what you are called to. Right now is the time. Do what you are called to, because you will be so amazed at what happens when we do come out the other side with your creation ready to go.
All cocooned.
All cocooned and ready to go.
Yeah, we'll be all beautiful and sparkly and butterfly-esque when we come out of it.
Get ready, get ready. Thank you so much for performing and being here and talking, and we'll do a show like this before we can't do a show like this.
Yeah, right?
So thank you, and thank you to everybody that tuned in today and that listened to the story and was a part of this energy. We felt you. It was very incredible, and thank you, thank you, thank you.